Welcome to Hammer and Nails with Skip and Allison Bedell.
You ever get like when the inseam in your shorts is like splitting your nutsack in half when you sit down in a chair? You're like, what the fuck?
Oh, hey, it's Tip Tuesday.
Oh, hey. I hate that tight short thing, right? Your whole nut bag is getting all messed up.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? That's a great way to start off a podcast. Wait, are we recording right now?
Yes, we are. You're on. We're live.
What is happening, everybody? I'm Skip Bedell.
I'm Allison Bedell.
And here with us tonight, our special guest, Eric G., Mr. Eric Goranson himself. We're so happy to have you out all the way from Portland, Oregon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
In the house, Eric G. Yeah, dude, it's so good to have you here, man. All the way out from coming from West, and like you came in to like check out the kitchen project, and of course you were the man that helped us put the whole together, the design and everything. And
thanks, man.
So yeah, dude.
Why don't you rewind and tell the peeps how we know him?
Okay, well, a lot of you all know us from Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. So of course you see Eric Goranson on our Facebook as well, one of our good Facebook friends, and he's a world-renowned kitchen and bath designer, right?
Yeah, I'm actually a certified kitchen designer through the NKBA, so I've been
How long you been doing that, man?
26, going on 27 years.
So you know a couple things about kitchens and baths?
A few.
A couple things, right? just
a few thousand of them now, so I'm starting to get a hang of it.
Yeah.
So you contacted Skip after you saw Catch a Contractor.
Oh, yeah. Well, we just started I started following the show, and then I'd make a comment, you'd make a comment, and we just kind of kept building.
Yeah, we just kind of started communicating, and I think it all kind of started from Catch a Contractor, and he was like, just commenting on stuff that we'd post out there for the show, and always had some great feedback and stuff, and kind of being an industry guy, I always noticed what he was putting out there as posts, and we kind of just hit it off, and over the last couple of years, just been interacting, and as it turns out, we got into this project here in our house.
Yeah.
And, I have a few different kitchen designers we work with here in New York for quite a while. And I want to do something really different. And Eric had an amazing connection with the company that we're working with, CraftMade, to get our cabinets and everything. Yep. And, we kind of thought outside the box. And I'm like, who better to do this thing with than you?
Yeah, it was kind of funny when you and I first got together, when you called into my show that one time. Bob and I, who I do that Around the House radio show out there in Portland with, you had just signed like the week before doing your Skip's Tips.
Skip's Tips, brought to you exclusively by the Ram 1500.
And we were broadcasting live from the True Value store there in Portland, from the old vintage one that's got the old neon sign and stuff out front.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And so they were so hilarious because you called into the show and they're like, he's been our spokesperson for 2 days. How did you get him to call on the show?
Yeah.
It was just like the perfect timing where it worked out.
Yeah, because True Value is one of our big sponsors.
Exactly.
Like Catch a Contractor. I actually did a couple of TV spots for True Value.
Yeah.
And we integrated them into the show. So I walked through a True Value store with a shopping cart.
It was like a Barbie doll shopping cart, by the way.
Yeah, it was the tiniest shopping cart you've ever seen in your life, dude. It was like the little Holly homemaker oven, like a tiny little
Easy bake oven one. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it was like that version of a shopping cart. I was pushing it with 2 index fingers on the handle like this. It was just, I'm like, I couldn't even put a tube of cock in there.
Yeah. Was it that Australian?
You just got that?
Yeah, it's New Zealand.
Yeah. I was there to get some things for my dick.
Yeah.
I mean, my dick.
Your dick.
My dick. Some dick sealer.
Dick sealer?
Dick stain.
Yep.
Is that that's the New Zealand
when you're
accent.
doing your dick, when you're rebuilding your dick,
when you resurface your dick, you want to make sure they use the proper materials.
Yeah.
And
you
the
don't want a
neighbor's wife
discolored
is
dick.
so jealous. She has been all over your dick.
The neighbors have been all over your dick.
The neighbors are really appreciating my dick. Yeah, we have to talk about that in this podcast because you showed me some funny videos. Say these guys from New Zealand, and they pronounce the word deck like dick. And they do these whole videos on products that you can use on your dick. Yes. And it was the funniest shit. Oh my God.
The neighbor's wife, she really loves your dick.
Yeah, she's been peeking over the fence every day and staring at my dick.
Yeah. And when you've got that, when your dick's starting to get worn out, you want to get that New Zealand decardener as well.
Yeah, you got to have a decardener.
Yep.
It's important that every part of your dick is hard.
And you got to rub it in. That's what they said. Spend some time, rub it in.
And when you're rubbing, you might even want to call your neighbor over and help him rub something in on your dick too. The more hands on your dick, the better.
You never want to do this alone.
That's some funny stuff, man. Yeah, we have to put a link to that those videos on our
I could
site.
put it on the on hammerandnailspodcast.com. If you look at the episode summary, I'll put a link to that.
There's a bunch of them. There's a
video.
bunch
there's
of
like
what are their names? Those guys. That guy.
I have to look it up. It's those guys are. It just If you look at there's so many millions of hits on it.
Oh my
if you just
God.
look up on YouTube and go
so
New Zealand
funny,
deck commercial,
So
boom right up.
I'm working on the island today, and Eric and I are like bolting on, shooting on the panels and stuff on the island, and he's like, "Hey, you want to see something funny?" And I'm like, kind of half paying attention. He's like, "Yeah," and he cues up this video, and I'm looking over one shoulder at it. Well, within 30 seconds, I had these belly laughs, these fucking deep rolled laughs. From I haven't laughed that hard in such a long time. It's so funny.
Oh man, that thing is just so.
Thanks for showing that. You know what?
funny.
You know how the day goes. It goes by so quickly, and it's we were just talking about this before. Like I literally typed an email to someone before, and before I could, between the words "all the best," skip, and hitting the send button, I didn't send it because something happened in that 10th of a second.
It's just gone.
So I am so easily distracted lately because my brain is on so overload. So you showed me that video, and it just broke me out of that bubble for a second. I laughed my ass off, man. That was some funny. You saw it too, right, Ellie?
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah.
We got to post that stuff.
Yeah, we'll have to get that up there.
Yeah.
So, man, Tip Tuesday, everybody. And Eric G is sitting in on that, too. Handyman extraordinaire himself, of course. So,
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
We got a few questions from the people that we'll get to.
Tip Tuesday!
Cool.
I wanted to also remind everybody about the Amazon banner that is on hammernailspodcast.com. I have actually had a conversation with Eric before about that as well. He who listens to our podcast and has ordered from Amazon so many times, but yet has failed to click on our Amazon banner.
That is changing
hang on.
now.
I'm unplugging your mic right now. See this cord in the mixing board? I'm pulling out channel 3 right now.
Shame.
Shame.
Ding, ding,
Shame.
shame.
All right.
We're making you walk
Shame.
through the courtyard
I have
naked.
that.
Shame.
Again?
Yeah.
Can we go streaking in the
Shame.
quads?
The village people are going to be spitting on you and stoning you with shame.
Yeah. Let's go streaking through the quads.
Yeah, man. Do you know the one and only time I ever went streaking was out in Colorado at Mile High Stadium? I went to go see a Pink Floyd concert with my then girlfriend at the time, like 1994. And we weren't even doing any drugs, but there was so much smoke in Mile High Stadium that we walked out. It was like a clam bake. And like all of the people that we went to the concert with, like evidently out there, it's a thing. Like there's a lot of big hippie population out there.
It's legal now
It's a
out
thing
there.
to do. It's like
But it's to streak.
it's cow tipping and streaking. I had no idea. Here I am, a guy from New York, right?
It's actually
And I'm-
worse in Portland.
Really?
We have the annual naked bike ride where
Come on.
literally 10,000 people show up at night for like 3 hours, and they ride across the town buck-ass naked.
No, wait a second. No, wait. We're talking about you're putting your junk on one of those tiny
That's
little
what I was just
bicycles.
going to
Absolutely.
say. Ow, it sticks.
Yeah.
It sticks
I'm not even
to
worried
the
about that.
seat.
I'm worried about getting caught in the chain.
Yeah, nice. That's like when I go to the bathroom, like you got to test the water if it's
Exactly,
too
yeah.
cold. Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you riding a
I
kiddie
used to-
bicycle?
That's why, yeah. No. Well, that's why they make the short ones for
Yeah.
guys like you and I, because
Yeah, right.
the water's at least a little colder in those.
He's riding one of those giant wheel bicycles, the big 10-foot wheel in the front,
I
and the
was
little tiny wheel in the back. Bully, I'm having a bully day. A bully day.
I was at the vet's office with
Vintage.
Milo last week, and they have those vinyl seats that you sit on, like they're like a square.
Oh, no.
And I was sitting waiting with Milo.
You have a mini skirt on?
I did, as I often
like a
do.
suction cup on
as
the
I
vinyl?
often do, and then they called my name because we were next, and I stood up, and the whole vinyl square came up with my ass. I was literally standing there with a vinyl square on my ass.
Were you
Yes.
wearing panties?
Yes, but I wear a thong, and then like whatever, like my cheeks. It was.
I just said your favorite word, panties.
and then I corrected you. It's a thong.
It's panties.
I corrected you.
All right, so
Don't say that
yeah,
word.
because
Now you
you
have
could
the
be
imprint.
sitting on that vinyl seat. There could be kind of like a suction action going
Yeah, but
on
then
there. You know?
what really grossed me out was the thought of who else has been sitting on this.
What other animals have been sitting on that?
I would prefer the animals sitting there before me than the people.
So
Seriously.
you got the back of your legs and like your whole ass cheeks
my
and
ass
everything,
cheeks are basically
right?
like touching the vinyl.
And your mini skirts, by the way, are pretty goddamn mini. I mean,
They have to be.
there's like there were mini skirts, and then there were like what I could refer to as a micro mini skirt, where it really doesn't even cover the entire ass cheek. It's pretty much like 3/4 of the cheek, and the bottom portion of the cheek kind of like.
It's not like that.
It's pretty low.
No, but there's a reason for it, and it has nothing to do with like appropriateness. It has to
because
do
your
with,
husband likes it like that.
It has
That's
to do
the
with
reason.
proportion. Because if you think about it, really, it makes the legs look longer.
Well, you don't need any help there. You have long legs.
Right.
It's not like you're going to wear an Amish dress, though. I mean,
well, those are comfortable. And I was just telling your sister yesterday, I said if it wasn't for Skip, I would be wearing a bag.
Yeah, well, when I met you had on like men's, like you were wearing some sort of like Doc Martens and cargo pants. I'm like, what?
Right.
Like I know there's something really sexy under that. I'm not. It's in there somewhere, but
it's there someplace. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a Christmas package.
No, but I fell in love with you like that.
Yeah, and I fell in love with you like you were.
How was that? Wait a second.
You had no
You keep telling me I get better looking all the time.
You do. You had no tattoos.
That was fun to watch this Jedi mind trick that just kind of went on.
You caught that, right? Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, expert level achieved.
She's got the forces with her at all times.
Exactly. I'm like, ooh, yes, I will unlock the door.
Yes, grasshopper. She's a very slick operator. That shit went wrong.
Yeah.
It flew right over, right? All right.
Move the blinds behind you, actually. So
I like it. Yeah. So the tattoos.
You had no tattoos.
Right.
You had a dick. You still do.
I still do.
I was going to say, that was a post-it. That was a past tense thing there.
That was working against you.
Wow.
Is it in her purse now, or what's going on here?
No, yeah. I think a portion of it is partly in there, yeah.
It's partly called marriage, too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that's all right, because I actually had 3 nuts when she met me, so I still have one.
Oh,
because she keeps the other 2 with her most of the time. So.
It's safer that way.
Yeah, so really I'm half a man, actually, now. So.
Yeah, it's kind of like the keys for the nuclear code. They just don't give them to one person. So.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's all good.
You're a good wife, though. You make up for it, though.
Thank you.
You do. Yeah, you're good.
No, you're a good husband.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, it's nice stuff. And Eric's like, all right, stop it. Stop.
It's good.
My wife's all the way back in Portland. Going back to my whole hotel room tonight and like rubbing one out. And you guys are like, aw.
Oh, well,
Eric's going to be FaceTiming the wifey tonight.
I was just going to say that.
Hey, that's what we did for 4 months at a time while we're filming Catch a
guys...
Contractor, because I'm in California. She's here for months, dude.
She's back here making money.
And can I tell you what I just discovered on his phone a couple days ago? Now, I knew that he has an app where it keeps pictures that you don't want to keep in your album. And there was a couple in there of me that I sent to him, that I gave him. But then, when he got his new phone, because he put the other one into the swimming pool, and he says, oh, make sure that is that app on there? Is it working? So I opened it up, and yeah, it's working. And there was like maybe about 15, 20 screenshots of our FaceTime that I was unaware of that is in his phone.
It's not Snapchat. I mean, you should probably understand.
I'm like, no, do it like that. Yeah, do it like that.
Click.
Yeah.
Like, click.
Yeah. Didn't know.
I had her in all kinds of positions and shit. Like, I'm
even
snapping away. Dude. I'm going to save this one for later.
Yeah.
This is for when you're out. You're not home and I can't reach you for FaceTime.
Is that app called Spank Bank? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, man. That was my personal Spank Bank. It's better than porn, dude. Because, because I know the star of the porn show. So.
You've got
I'm banging the porn star.
Yeah.
It's my own personal porno. It's awesome.
That works.
Wow.
Hey, whatever works, man. You know.
But that was a strange surprise to find naked pictures.
Are you watching this? Look at the tug of war going on over here. The 2 smallest dogs on the planet. It's like 3 pounds and 4 pounds. They're having a tug of war across the floor.
Wow. They're going out after it. That's funny.
Milo's winning, too. Look at him. He's like half her size.
Man, he's
going tough,
for it.
man.
All machine, that one.
But look, she's like waiting for him to grab the other end again.
She's like, oh, get it. Dude, come on. What are you stopping for?
Yeah. Come on.
She's like an old lady, and he's like a little teenager. He's like,
yeah. Oh, but you know what? Actually, this occurred to me while you were doing that. That you have naked pictures of me that I never even knew existed. But I also have pictures of you as well.
Ooh,
really?
But not as flattering. The one when you were, there was a few years back when you were drunk and you sat on the toilet backwards. And he still had his pants around his ankles.
Yeah. Nice.
So when he went to...
It was just easier that way, because I find when I sit on it the other way, I fall off. I fall
exactly.
forward and smack my head on the wall. So this way I can kind of hold on to the tank, and I'm good. It's,
You're good.
I can fall asleep right on the tank.
It's just like you're assembling a toilet and you're putting the things on there. You can sit down there.
That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah.
He had his pants around his ankles, though, so when he went to get up, it wasn't so smooth, and he fell down on the floor. So then
I kind of forgot the pants were
laying on the floor with your pants around your ankles.
Yeah.
Passed out, and I got a good picture of that.
That
Still
was a fun
phone.
night, yeah. I had no idea that you had chronicled the entire evening with video and pictures, and then proceeded to, as I went to bed, we were sleeping, and I was evidently in a very deep sleep.
Yeah.
And, what I thought was just ending a fun night, and I woke up to a picture of her with her toe in my nose. So there's a whole toe. The entire toe is inside my nostril. Yep. And she takes a picture, and I'm like mouth open, on my head back, one eye open, the other one closed. I'm out,
Yeah.
And she's got a whole toe inserted in my nose.
There was another one I did that on
I'm like,
Thanksgiving.
what else do you do to me when I'm...
Turkey coma.
I saw one of those things like that. Guy that
man.
I know, his employees, they were out drinking, and his employees and coworkers and other people, he passed out, and he's a guy. I'm not going to tell the story because I'm not sure if he knows this actually happened.
Gotcha.
And the guys lined up and took pictures. They lined him up like he was Jesus with his arms out and his legs crossed.
Oh, God.
And they lined up and took selfies teabagging him as he was passed out.
Oh, that's fucked up.
And the funny part is they used his phone.
God.
That's terrible.
So I've been out.
The worst thing I've had on my face is a toe. So
Exactly.
as far as I
That's what I'm
know,
saying.
anyway, I don't know. Look at her face. It's like, well.
But wait a minute. They might have been yours, so then it would probably...
I was wondering what my leg was hurting me the next day. I'm not that flexible. So.
No.
My feet are not that small.
Exactly.
None of my toes are fitting in this nose.
So anyway, but it was that went sideways, and I woke up in the morning with somewhat pictures of this blowing up my phone, and it was... I
man,
laughed.
that's funny.
I had the biggest belly
When you
laugh
say teabag,
going.
was it at least a clothed teabag?
No.
Oh.
Like full twig and berries?
It was full twig and berries.
It wasn't like hand on twig?
No,
and
it
just
was,
berries?
It was it was hand on twig and berries, but it was full on.
Oh no!
Get down there and get after it kind of pictures. And it was
Now was
just
that
like,
guy a good sport? Because he could really actually file rape.
Yeah, he was fighting some. He's still a friend of mine, so he was fighting some personal struggles.
Oh my goodness!
Well, that's a good wake up call. If you ever want to, instead of an intervention, just let them get really drunk and teabag. Have everybody do a gang teabag.
Yeah, exactly.
And then take pictures. And we were gonna give you an intervention. We just thought that showing you this picture would be enough of a wake up call to stop drinking this much.
On next week's intervention, you know
20 of your closest friends teabag.
Yeah. You know how cops has their ho ho ho, where they do all the women that are out there doing prostitution, and they put the prostitution special and they call it ho ho ho.
Right.
You can have the teabag intervention.
Christmas time.
Yeah.
That's
you can have some fun of that.
That's some good
Tea
stuff.
for two.
Wow, man. So tell us about your show. You're hosting a radio show that you've been doing for quite a while now, too. Right?
Yeah, so my co-host, Handyman Bob, we do Around the House out in Portland, and then on total of 9 stations around the Northwest.
Handyman Bob, is that his
That's
his handle?
Bob Strong. He's known as
So
Handyman
if he's
Bob.
so what do you have?
I'm Eric G.
It's Eric G and Handyman Bob.
Yep.
So Handyman Bob has been around forever.
Yeah.
And you guys are on an FM station?
Yeah, we're on FM 101 out there.
Oh,
nice. A great time.
Man.
So,
and people can find you also on the website or on...
easiest way to find... I kind of have one website that has it all there, so it's just designed by ericg.com, so it's super easy.
Nice. Can they listen to the radio show on the internet also?
Yep.
Or
yeah, I've got a SoundCloud on there. It's up on that site, and then I have all my TV segments that I do for Fox 12 More Good Day Oregon are on that as well. So
nice, man.
My design work and all that stuff's just in one spot.
Right, and you guys do kind of like a call-in show too. People call and ask for advice and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not like this format. We have the FCC and things that we can't.
Oh, you guys don't talk about your dick and all that.
I did that one time, but I had to play careful with that because the guy called in and Bob was looking at me, and I know Bob's listening, and so he's shaking his head. But this guy called in and he goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna refinish my deck, but I want to use a different finish." And I said, "Well, mate, you got to be very careful. If you don't do this right and you mix the two chemicals, you could end up with a sticky deck." And we went right to commercial break because we just ended up with that, and we had
the E sound in there, or was it kind of a sticky dick or a sticky dick?
It was a sticky dick, and Bob looked at me like, "What'd you say?"
And you don't ever really want to put stain on your dick either.
No, nobody wants a golden dick. But anyway, so it was so funny, and so we had one guy that. He about crashed his car. He said he was laughing so hard.
Yeah, we have to get people to watch those videos, man. You had me. I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. It was some funny stuff, man. That's cool. So the radio show is going good.
Yeah,
and,
having a good
and you
time.
do some stuff on Fox too. So coincidentally, I'm going back on Fox and Friends like I do, once every probably a month or so. I do my DIY and tool segments and things like that. So I'm doing another one this coming Thursday, just in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Bright and early again. Usually they're around 7:00 or 7:30.
Like 7:20 is when you're.
I think it's 7:20.
So
but when they email that, like a few days earlier, that it's live news. So that could mean it's 7:20. It could mean it's
Trump says something fucked up. It's
If Trump finds out that Ivanka's banging someone else the night before, there's no skips tips.
Exactly.
It's done. Yes.
Or Bill found 2 more interns.
I did not have sexual relations without limit.
It
was 7 a cigar in his hand.
Exactly. Now you know why that cigar was never lit.
Yeah. He sucked on it a lot, though. He's kind of spun it around in his lips.
Wasn't his.
Oh, no, man.
But it's funny. But that's the bad part about that show. And I love that show. Yeah. But on the West Coast, that's at 4:20 in the morning.
Yeah, they don't.
And they don't replay it.
Yeah.
So you look at all the network stuff, the ABC, NBC, CBS stuff, they always just replay it.
Yeah,
so,
Today's Show,
Good
Morning
all those
America,
things,
right.
They start out there at 7 o'clock our time, and it's always the replay of
it.
Right.
Because we all, that's, you know. But they're just like, hey, we're just going to keep live and keep going. So
the Fox and Friends airs at like 6 a.m. here or something, or I think it started out at 6 to 9 or whatever it is.
So that's
they
3 to
start
6.
3 to 6 by you, right? Yeah. So we're always putting out posts, hey, DVR. So people set their DVR
that's how I've watched
for
them.
6 a.m. or whatever, and they don't record it because it's not even on. It's like it's over by then.
But you know what? Also, if you want to watch it, they usually put it on the website like around 9 o'clock, and then I always put a link to it on our website and put it on Facebook. So at least you can see it if you missed it, if you didn't DVR it. There's always a link.
Yeah. The last one we did was the day that we went in there. I had a big setup. I had trucks full of shit show up because Home Depot sponsors these segments. So I had a John Deere tractor. I had rolling toolboxes from Milwaukee. I had tons of stuff.
Yeah.
Big stuff. And we're going to set it up outside like we always do. And I've done 10 segments, I think, on Fox and Friends now over the last year or 2 years or whatever it is. And I've always been fortunate enough that I didn't get rained out. It's just by chance, right? Because they're outdoors.
Yeah.
A couple of close calls, but never got rained on. So this one, sure enough, the biggest one that I've done so far. I'm going to have the anchors drive the tractor around and pretend to mow the lawn. We're going to have a great time, right? Pouring sheets coming down, and I'm like, oh no. So the whole crew, cameramen, everybody, we're all rolling all this shit down the halls of the Fox building,
dripping
into the building.
Yeah.
Everybody's busting out rolls of paper towels, drying them down. Because, on live TV, you got 5 minutes before the prep stuff. So now I always get there like 2 hours early. So if I'm doing a 6:30 hit, I'm there at 4:30. I'm setting up the set, getting everything ready. So when the time they give me the 5-minute countdown, I do my teasers and stuff, and then we go right into it. And it's live. There's no
second take. It's you're off and going.
So now we're still going off at 7:20, whatever it is. It's going, So
it's just a whole new plan.
So now we got to reset, move all this giant stuff. Probably from where it was to the new location is 100 yards away, but through hallways of the narrow hallways, and we're pushing a damn lawnmower, toolboxes, and people are running alongside them, drying them at the same time. And now we roll the stuff into one of the newsroom studios. We're inside
where they're filming on the couch.
And they are live doing the Fox and Friends on the couch, and we're trying to be real quiet. roll past them as they're live.
And there's like wires across the floor. We're like, well, do we go?
So the John Deere, the tires are wet and they're they're squeaking. I'm like, oh the fuck.
Yeah, and then the
camera guy's looking at me like shaking his head, going, dude, no, stop it, man.
Stop, yeah. And then of course you got the toolbox, so that thing goes across and it jiggles and makes you're pulling a China shop no matter how you do it.
So I went from being I'm the person that shows up extra early so I don't get stressed out. Right? There's no rush, right? I don't like to feel like that. So now it's super stress.
Oh yeah.
Not only that. Thank God that day. Rarely I'm faced with a tough decision of like, what am I going to wear on camera today? I always have a couple different wardrobe options. That particular day, I couldn't choose between the two shirts I wanted to wear. And Affliction is really cool.
That particular day is every day.
Affliction gives me a lot of my clothing to wear on air and stuff.
Nice.
So I had a couple of shirts with me that day, and I couldn't decide which one I wanted to wear. So I happened to have a second one in the car. So as we're moving all this shit in, I am completely saturated to the point to where, to my underwear, to my socks, you could wring it out. I was soaked. So when I went on and did my segment, they hit me from the waist up. I was sloshing in my shoes on live TV, but I was able to change my shirt.
So at least you look fresh.
I took a paper towel, dried my hair real quick, slicked it back, and it was like 3, 2, 1, go. And I'm like, hey, everybody, we're talking about John Deere tractors today. And I'm like, meanwhile, I'm like, I'm sloshing across the set. So, I'm excited to be going back on because that was the last one. And, we always pull them off, and they come off great, and people love them and everything, and they always ask me to come back. But this time, since I've been there, Allison and I have been to Milwaukee, and we've also went to DeWalt when they invited us out as their guests to do these big tool expos of the newest lines of tools, that are, most of which are not even available in the stores yet. And there's some really super high-tech.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I showed you some of it today.
We were playing with some of that today out there. My mind is completely blown.
Yeah, they have sent me some tools over the last month or so. Like, hey, man, try this out and tell us what you think. You can't even get them in the store yet.
No.
But crazy stuff, right? Yes or no?
You got that one today. I'm like, that's in a white cardboard box from the manufacturer.
That's because they haven't made a box for it yet.
They haven't made a box for that yet.
This is prototype shit, some of it, man.
Yeah, you're getting like the skunk works.
So they want like your feedback and like, should we develop this thing and put it out for retail?
Note to DeWalt, that answer is a hell yes.
Yeah, man. Really cool stuff, right? Dude, so we work with a lot of those tools today.
We could have worked with that saw out there, and this is a battery-powered chop saw. We could have worked on that thing out there for the week doing what we were doing today.
Days. Yeah.
I mean,
we were cutting trim and base molding and scribe and all kinds of stuff to put together the finishes on the kitchen, the toe kicks and stuff. And ripping stuff on a table saw, cutting on a 12-inch slotting miter saw, and all of which is battery powered with 60-volt batteries. It's a brand new line of tools that are coming out. It's called the Flex Volt line. It's something that no one has anything like this on the market. It's brand new, and the technology is just off the chain, man. The runtime, they will literally get hundreds and hundreds of cuts on a single charge of battery. You really don't need a power cord anymore.
No, and that marker, what blew me away. Just crazy. There's no laser on that saw. They use light.
Yeah, it's called a shadow line. So a lot of saws now have a laser to where when you drop the miter saw down on the material, it makes a red line, a laser that you put right on your pencil line, and you get a super accurate cut. Yeah. You don't have to kind of line the blade up with your pencil mark, right? So they went one step further because the lasers, especially if you're a mobile guy, if you're in a wood shop, one thing, the saw never moves. Yeah. But if you're like me, you're on the road, you're operating out of a trailer. Every time you move that saw, you have a chance of banging it or whatever. Sometimes you have to recalibrate that laser.
Sure.
And when you're doing super fine finish work, crown and everything, where a 16th or a 32nd sometimes matters,
ruins it. Yeah.
That laser's got to be dead on. And if you miss one cut, you might be buying a whole new piece of $200 8-foot crown, right?
Exactly.
So now they make this shadow line where it actually has a white light on the top of the blade, and it creates a shadow the thickness of the blade.
Yeah.
And there's no calibration because the shadow is never going to be wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So they just took it everything's one step further, right?
One step or even 10 steps. Some of that stuff I'm going to call 10 steps because it's just that crazy.
It's I had a feeling you were going to really dig it. And like some of it is not even in the stores yet. It won't be out until October or November.
Yeah.
but this is going to change the way people in the industry, definitely the pros, and even for homeowners, they're a little pricey for some homeowner DIYers.
Yeah.
But if you're someone who really likes to get the job done right and you're willing to invest the money to get a good tool that'll last the rest of your life, you're never going to buy this is the last saw you're going to buy.
Oh, yeah.
It's worth spending the extra money. But man, what a difference in the production, right? It's
for a contractor, that's a game changer.
It's a done deal.
Yeah.
You don't need a generator on a job with no power. You don't need to run power cords.
No.
You can operate in the tailgate of your truck with no power source. Run a table saw, a chop saw, a circular saw, every tool in their lineup. I'm talking about stuff from a joist drill, like a whole hog type of joist drill. Yeah. Grinders, the list goes on and on. They all operate in these 60-volt batteries. And it's just like mind-blowing. The run times are for hours. Yeah. It's just amazing, man.
That's tool porn right there.
It is, right? I actually have half a chub right now.
Exactly.
I'm working my way up to a full chub, but I'm half chub at this point right now.
I've actually got pictures saved of it for my bank for later. So yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, you took some pictures of my Minosaur for tonight in the hotel room?
Exactly. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm hoping I don't slide off the chair.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm going to have to tie you to the chair, man.
Yeah. I'm going to leave a slug trail.
Oh, God. See, thanks a lot, DeWalt.
Yep.
That saw gets me so moist.
She
really
said
get
tool.
The juices flowing. No, I got to tell you, man, I'm really excited about this line of tools. And you know what's cool? Like, and Milwaukee, too, that both of them are really stepped up the game. I mean, they're like, kind of on par with each other. They're really trying to think outside the box, where their R&D is just through the roof. And going there, we saw a lot of great stuff in Milwaukee, too. But they're both so cool in the sense that they literally, right now, they send us an email. They're like, what do you want to try? Like, tell us what you want. We'll send it to you because we want to get your feedback. So it has been...
They care what the users think.
Yeah.
And they make revisions based on that.
Yeah. And so the UPS guy who we were talking about today,
that was awesome.
We're all on first name basis.
Yeah.
You saw it, right?
Oh,
like, people who listen to our podcast, they don't believe me.
Yeah.
You were here today. You saw it. You're like, hey, man, what's up? Yeah. Hey, Allison. Hey, Skip.
Hey,
right?
Skip.
So usually he comes
got more
in.
tools for you.
Yeah. He comes in with a hand truck full of shit every day for Allison because she's an online shopper, Amazon, of course.
And my house is no different.
She buys, so we get mountains of boxes on the front porch every day show up, right? So, I mean, this guy basically knows more about us than most of our family, right? Because he sees what we're buying, our toiletries and our food and everything,
right? I told you that story earlier about my
hey, dude,
UPS
I wanted to ask you, how those suppositories working out for you?
Oh, man. Yeah. My UPS guy came up, last week. I think we were talking about it earlier, and I talked about it on the radio a week or two ago. I've been getting so many auto parts in because I'm working on my Lincoln. And, working on that.
The rat rod.
Working on the rat rod. So I go walking out the front door because I hear the UPS truck. I walk out, and he's like, stand down, Nordstrom's box.
Oh, it's Nordstrom, the pair of shoes.
Yeah,
it's the Jimmy Choos for your wife.
Exactly. And I'm like,
You thought it was the headers for your Lincoln.
Damn it. I was hoping I was going to get those brake shoes today,
Oh, man. Yeah, so he's been really funny because he's like, hey, man, I got some more stuff for you today, Skip. So between DeWalt and Milwaukee, it's just been a revolving door of great tools coming through. And I am just so excited to be doing this segment coming up on Thursday because I'm going to I did one on Milwaukee. The last one I did with a tractor and I got rained out. A lot of that was Milwaukee tools. Yeah. So this one I'm going to do like this whole Flex Volt line with all this new DeWalt stuff.
Dude, I even grabbed your 6-foot level today when we were doing that. And I'm like, what is this Mr. Wizard level you have here?
So
the Empire?
Yeah, that's Empire. So I wasn't even aware of this till we got out to the Milwaukee Expo. They showed us all their new products that aren't even available yet. And what I didn't know is that Milwaukee recently purchased Empire, the level and squares. They make speed squares and everything, all that type of measuring devices and stuff. And they make a sick line of levels that are just unbelievable. And they're all waterproof, super durable, and they're LED powered. So
LED
the bubbles light up.
They glow.
And you wouldn't think like you really, the actual there's battery packs and lit up, illuminated LED lights inside the center bubble and the plumb bubbles. And you wouldn't think like, all right, do I really need that?
Yeah.
But let me tell you something, man. I had Brian over here the other day. We're installing the kitchen the cabinets together and stuff, and he's like a 30-year framer. He's a ace mechanic, man. This guy is a builder. And I showed him this. It's like, that's what I need, more batteries.
More gadgets,
well, 15 minutes into the job, he's pressing the button. And I'm like, oh, you like that, don't you? Because sometimes you're holding that level up against the wall, and it's just not enough light to where you got to really kind of look at it twice to really see where it is in the bubble, you know? And if you're trying to get shit real dead on, well, all of a sudden you pop that button, and man, it is crystal clear.
Dude,
you can see from 10 feet away, that bubble is dead on. So within 20 minutes ago, I'm like, you're stuck. You're hooked, right? You're hooked. Now you're hooked on the bubble. I can't stop, man. It's like crack. You just keep hitting that button. I can't stop.
I need another hit.
He was petting the button all day, and I'm like, I got you. So he's like, oh, shit, I got to get one of these, man. Yeah. And we're stability guys and stuff. We've had all kinds of levels. And I got old school Stanleys, the wood ones, like with the brass edges. Old school ones that I've had for 30 years.
God, speaking of old school, this past weekend we went through the box that we have. It's like a storage box on our driveway.
Oh, yeah.
And we put shit in there when we first moved in because we don't have a garage. So it's everything that we had that didn't fit in the house is in that thing. And we haven't really even looked in it barely since we moved here.
Like 5 years ago.
This isn't some little box. This isn't like he's got a pod out here. This is a 24-foot box truck box kind of thing.
I think it's 24 or 30
That's
feet
what I mean. It's
by
something like that.
8 or 9. It's basically like the back of a giant box
furniture
truck.
Delivery truck. Yeah, it's like a big
huge,
one. Yeah.
With a roll-up door, only it's just the body of it. And I actually purchased it from a trucking company. They drop it on your property, and it's great because it's it stays dry.
Brilliant.
It's got a roll-up door with a lock on it. And it's secure, so it's up off the ground.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me just get that thing. Because, man, if we were paying a storage fee for the last 5 years to keep 90% of the stuff that was crap, which most of it wound up in the dumpster when we finally got to cleaning it out the other day. And it really was out of necessity because I found that as we're doing this remodel in our house, everything is now, as you see, our kitchen is in the living room. Everything is shifted around, right?
It's just like everybody else's kitchen remodel, but it just ends up being yours.
But if you have a garage or someplace to stage the things that you're not using, they're not in your living space, right? So you could stage them off in the storage area. We didn't have that. So the box had become like this space of refuge for everything, which eventually just got to be so hoarderish that you couldn't eat. When I opened the door, when I closed it, I had to shut it real fast before shit. It was packed so tight that you couldn't even get in it. So the other day, I had a buddy of mine, friend of the family, actually come over, and I'm like, hey, man, let's just. And of course, we picked the hottest day of the summer.
It was the hottest.
And we went out. There was like 105. And I'm like, why are we doing this today? I'm like, you know what? Let's just do. I made up my mind today. I don't care. If it's, I don't care if it's a tornado, we're going to clean this box out today. I need it done. So we did it. It was an all-day thing.
And to my surprise, Skip has tools that I think are probably or at least they look 25 years old.
They are, or older. There's probably 3 or 4 chop saws in there. There's table saws. There's router tables. There's
multiples of everything.
There's, circular saws and recip saws. And, old school, like Milwaukee Sawzalls, the original Sawzall that have, like, the Allen key that you got to change the blade with.
Oh, wow. It doesn't even have the twist one that they have on
there. No. Way before that.
Way before that.
Yeah, I'm talking about, like, before.
The one that always loosened up.
When the plug still had 2 prongs on them.
Oh, yeah. That, too. The one that always loosened up. That you're like, you get cutting and the blade
and then you couldn't find the Allen key.
Exactly. Where the Allen key fell out and you're looking through the yard for it.
Yeah, I had a lot of those tools. So... and I just keep getting newer stuff. So it's like, and they go into storage. I hate to throw stuff away. And I'm like, maybe someday you'll never use that saw again. You won't.
Because
with this stuff you got out here.
Because I got 4 new flex bolts out.
Exactly.
I took pictures of everything, but I can't post it on Craigslist yet because I don't know what a lot of the shit even is.
There you go. You have to go through it. I got to look at the picture and tell you that's a 15 amp.
You got a Honda Civic out here. Yeah. You have the new Lamborghini Gallardo sitting out here in the driveway. So you're like, I got to get rid of that Civic.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing, man. But
have you listed shit on Craigslist before?
Oh.
Do you get these fucking assholes?
That's a universal thing. You get people that are dreamers.
Oh my God.
It is. You get the flakes. You get.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then you get the people that just want to haggle. So you put it up there for whatever it is, for $100 or whatever it is you're selling, right?
Yeah.
And then they'll write back to you, well, will you take 40? I'm like, well, if I wanted 40, I'd put it on there for 40. What is the point of that?
This is the most recent one. Now, I've been complaining because I'm pissed because I put on my thing non-negotiable. And
because we already put
more of a challenge.
We already put like the bottom line price. Like we just want to get rid of it. Yeah. So this is what I'm willing to just let you come and drive away with. I don't.
What we're selling,
we don't need to negotiate. Just come and take it.
What we're selling is a door, the screen door, because he made the opening here bigger. So we're getting rid of the one that was in there previously. It was only a couple of years old. It's an Anderson retractable screen.
Nice.
It's a nice door.
Yeah.
So we're selling it. So I put non-negotiable, and people started trying to fucking haggle, and I was getting pissed.
It's like they double down on the challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not?
Listen,
well, then I'm going to see if I can negotiate.
That's the whole point. I think that people actually, they might not even really want the door. They just want to know if they can get a good deal.
They just want to dick with you and get a better price.
Yeah.
Even though they don't need it.
Yeah.
So this fucking guy writes to me, what's his name? Rich Murphy. I'm throwing it out there.
Way to call him out.
Yeah. Fucking idiot. Yeah. Rich Murphy says.
Wait, was it Dick Murphy?
Dick Murphy. If you can do, now I'm selling it, I put 130 non-negotiable. If you can do 100, I can pick it up tomorrow morning. Let me know. So then I wrote back, and because I was getting really fucking fed up, I said, 120 and you've got a deal. He writes back, this fucking moron. I feel comfortable at 100 because I'm hoping it fits in my door frame. Let me know if you're okay with that. I'll pick it up ASAP.
Who buys
What's
a door?
Matter?
Who buys a door until you measure
exactly?
the
Exactly. Yeah. It doesn't matter if he pays $1,000 for it or $10.
I wrote back. I said, "Why are you hoping it fits? Haven't you measured your opening? The sizes are very specific."
Yeah.
Skip, I hope your kitchen fits. I was hoping. I mean, come on.
I'm going to give you a great price on this kitchen. I hope it works in your house.
Oh my God! Right?
I'm going to start using that. You should start using it with your contractor stuff too.
Yeah.
We got this great project. Let's spend a couple $100,000. I hope it works.
Yeah.
Nothing says confidence.
We had
like,
a bunch of those on Catch a Contractor.
Exactly.
They hope everything worked, and none of it did.
Yeah.
I can't even.
People are just like, they're
stupid.
whacked, man.
They're stupid.
So, listen, $100 is not going to change anyone's life. I don't care. I would as soon, just throw the thing in the dumpster.
But on the
I don't
fucking
even care.
principle?
It's just like, if I have to deal with you and I have to be home one day because you're coming here, I'm going to take time out of my life, and then you're going to come here and whatever. We got to chat.
Yeah.
You got to pay me $100 because I want. I'd rather throw it in the dumpster and I don't have to talk to you.
Exactly.
How's that?
Yeah, I had one like that I was helping a buddy sell. He had 11 pallets of that foam board that you use for roofing, where it's got that. It's not just a regular foam core; it's 2-inch foam, but it's got that fiberglass layer and the stuff that you put on a flat roof.
Yeah.
So he had it from another friend project that he got for nothing, and he put it up on Craigslist.
Right.
So I got this lady that called me up. Oh yeah, it's $2,000. I'm like, yeah, I think it was $2,500, but it's 11 pallets of it. It's like most of a semi truck full of
It's like $8,000 worth of material.
Exactly.
So it's $2,500. Yeah.
She goes, well, I'm going to do my roof. I got to do a roof. Well, let me see if I can get a loan to buy that.
What?
And I'm going, well, if you got to do a roof and you can't afford to buy the foam,
right? What
how
are you
going to do the roof?
Right. What about the What about the rest of the roof?
Yeah, what about the $25,000 you're going to have to spend on the re-roof?
Right.
Not the $2,000 on the phone.
People are whacked, man.
And then every 3 days she'd send an email. Is it still for sale?
Oh, God.
Oh.
It's a
I'm
stalker.
still working on the loan.
The Craigslist stalker.
Craigslist stalker.
See, Adam Carolla called it out, man. He said on one of our episodes of season 1, he's like, Craigslist is only for picking up dudes.
Oh, yeah.
Because these people found their contractor on Craigslist,
and
he was a complete nightmare. The guy was just a disaster. He knew nothing about anything.
That's where you pick up nightmare contractors.
Yeah, but
he
gave him a great price.
Oh, yeah.
But a year later, their house was still demoed and they had no money left.
No, that was the one where they took down the...
all the structural beams.
Yeah.
The guy cuts out all the structural beams in the whole house. We're just going to open up these walls. He just cuts everything out. And the whole ceilings are... And they rocked it. The whole ceilings are sagging. Yeah.
You had like a 4-inch deflection of the ceiling or something.
Yeah, dude. It was
really bad.
Crazy. So the inspector came, and the inspector asked them what they put on there, and they rocked it before the inspector could get up in the attic. So he just took their word for it, and the whole thing was sagging. And the homeowners were like, this doesn't look right.
Yeah.
So then the inspector came back, and I guess they must have cut it when they got up in there, and he's like, oh, no, you can't. Come on, man. You can't have this.
I've never seen an inspector that won't go... I mean...
Yeah.
I don't know what your inspectors are like over here, but mine over there, man, they'd be like, tear down.
Yeah.
They're ruthless.
Yeah. Well, most
I
of
got
them
some
are.
good friends that are good ones out there that are still good, but they'd still look at that and go, looks like you got to get a couple more sheets of drywall, tear it down. I need access.
There might have been some other details of how that worked out with the inspector. I don't know exactly. We did 30 episodes, but all I know is that somehow or another he got to the point to where he rocked it, painted the ceiling, everything.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, somehow or another, either you didn't have inspections or the inspector was not doing his job.
You know what I think that was? I bet they just masked it to make it look like it was an old work and just.
Yeah,
got it swept
we had to rip the entire place apart and redo every bit of thing. Which
you know what I was thinking
no
about?
hangers, no nothing, man.
With Catch a Contractor, there was an episode that we had done where the home, and I'm not going to say which episode, but there was a home where the people and all the people were nice with the homeowners, and you would probably not realize it until you got inside deep into their house. But you ever have people that seemingly they're normal, they're intelligent, they're clean, and you get into their house and it's as if they've never in their lives cleaned the house. It's
I've actually done full-on hoarder houses before.
Oh, my God.
I had a client one time in Washington up there, and nice lady invites me over, nice neighborhood house. I got inside, and it was 5 to 6 feet high of stuff. And the crazy part was that she was really nice, and she was, was wanting new white Corian countertops in her 2 bathrooms because she wanted white Corian counters on the old cabinets. And that's all she wanted. And I walk in the door, and I mean, literally, it looked like somebody came in with a crane and just dumped garbage in this house 6 feet high.
Wow.
And you had this single track, like 8 inches of walkway back there.
Oh, wow.
And I walked in the door, and she was really sweet, pleasant, and really nice person. And she goes, would you mind removing your shoes when you come in?
No!
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, no, seriously. And
when there's like a trail through the fields?
Oh,
a trail through like the garbage?
Yeah. This was just,
It's about
and
a foot wide?
Do?
No, for safety and OSHA reasons, there's no way we could get away with not wearing shoes in here.
Answer.
I love it.
I'm like, no way. I mean,
Oh,
and
wow.
It was an interesting house. And the other thing that was kind of weird about it, too, was that she had these 12 or 15 Siamese cats. And they had this really cool, vaulted ceiling in there. And she had taken like 1-inch thick glass, like you'd make a zoo exhibit out, and put floor to ceiling for her cat room. It was meticulously clean in there. And it was this whole gym. It was like you had this Siamese cat room at the zoo.
I clean our cat room more than I do the rest of the house.
It was dead
Eric
on.
hasn't seen the cat room. That's upstairs.
It was dead on point. I'm like, wow, that's perfect. And then she had on her fireplace wall, she had these probably 6 hutches. And there had to have been 1,000 of the same ceramic Siamese cat all lined up like army men on these glass shelves that was lit. That was just perfectly organized. It was the same one. I was like, oh, wow. And I came back a few years later. She said, I retire in a couple weeks, and I'm going to keep cleaning. She called me back a couple years later, came back, and it was like halfway down. She had knocked 50% down. I'm like, all right. But super
got it
nice
down to
lady.
3 feet.
Yeah, it was down to 3 feet, but still, it was like, whew.
And Steve was telling me about a customer recently that he had gone to the house, and it was... It didn't match the person who he was speaking to, who was intelligent and well versed, and it reminded me of that house. What was this? What was it? There was something. They had vents in the house, right? It was like the air vents. There was like Q-tips and all kinds of shit.
Oh yeah. Now I remember which one. They had forced air, and there were floor registers. In some of the rooms, and so they have the metal grate over the floor register, and there was one that was an intake. It was like a return, but it was in the floor, so it was a pretty large grate. It was in the floor,
2 foot by 30 inches.
Odd place to have a return on the floor, but that's where it was. Yeah. And when you walk over this thing, you look down into it, and it was basically every single thing that is ever like every ball of lint, every piece of food. So this was in a hallway in the way to the kitchen. So you could tell they've taken like plates of food to the living room, and whatever's falling off the plate, there was 2 or 3 years worth of chunks of food.
And it was the plates of food under the couch, right?
Oh, dude, it was Q-tips, cigarette butts, well on view. Like you just got to look in the grate. It's not like you like I was looking under the furniture. Like you walking over it every day, 100 times a day. All you got to do is lift the grate up and vacuum the thing out.
With a vacuum,
so they have never
it.
cleaned it for maybe a decade, and it was so nasty, man. I was like,
all the air for that entire house before it made it to the filter was going through that
garbage.
Oh,
yeah.
And it was saying like that. He said to me, I remember like it was yesterday when the kitchen.
Why does the house smell like garbage?
Said the kitchen floor. He said that it was as though never since the floor was laid has it ever been cleaned.
Not once. No, it was bad, man.
There's the layer, kind of this tar-looking stuff across it.
It was some combination of like nicotine and foot funk. And it was at least an eighth of an inch of like a varnish on the floor. It was bad,
and it's like the whole house was like that, and the bedrooms and everything, because it was a lot of work done on the house. But the people, you'd never guess.
Yeah.
Never.
The people were like well-spoken, seemed to be like educated people. They were like, like if you were to meet them on the street, they were dressed well. They, they seemingly like really together people, had good jobs, and they were like, but man, they just lived like absolute animals. I was like, what?
Never clean.
Does anyone like? How do you look at that and not know that this isn't right?
Yeah, to them that's normal.
And the food under the couch on plates.
There was paper plates and stuff. I mean, even regular plates like China, plates. Under the couch, I found like 3 or 4 of them when we moved the couch that had food on them so old that it must have been like years old. Like that the fork was actually just cemented to the plate.
That had to smell just... I wish we had smell-o-vision for that right here.
Smell-o-vision is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, what is it like?
I'm like, what? I don't understand that, man.
The hobo power of that would have been...
Are you asking the laborers to clean that shit up?
Yeah, so when I went there for the estimate, I'm like, do I factor in like an extra day or two?
You do.
Like, what?
You have to.
Do we need to walk in here with like hazmat suits? Like what? Like do I need ventilators on? Like what are we doing, man?
Treat it like asbestos. Just come in there and
Yeah, because like the air quality in there was really bad. So I mean, we were gutting the place to the studs anyway. But I'm like, oh man, it was bad.
It's bad when you give up a decade before you remodel. We're going to remodel it in 10 years anyway.
Yeah,
Just ignore it.
Yeah, it wasn't like they just bought the house, so you're moving into like a burnt out like a reno or
some weird flip or something.
A foreclosure or something.
Yeah.
Like we got to gut the whole place. They lived in it like that. Like they were the ones that made it like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So,
I wonder what it's like today with the stuff that was renovated. I wonder what that stuff looks like.
I often think that. I mean, most of my clients, like a lot of my people, are like, they do nice stuff. So like I always said, a lot of the things that we wind up throwing in the dumpster, most people wish they had in their house.
Yeah.
Like we'll get rid of, like we'll remodel a bathroom. And it's a nice bathroom. Like, it might have been a little bit outdated, but when they did it, it was top of the line.
Yeah.
And it's not that old. They just want nicer stuff,
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's people, just regular, like hardworking blue-collar people that, like, they can't afford that kind of stuff. So they
get the toilet on our lawn, by the way?
I did.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I know.
No, what do you mean I know? You're the one. Why is our toilet on the lawn?
Because
and that's so that he's here and he saw it.
Because it was behind the storage
dumpster where nobody could see it. It was right next to the dumpster.
I'm working on it. What's
the difference? Get in the middle of the lawn?
Well, ask me. Ask the guys who did all the cleanup back there. I didn't put it there.
Oh, you're the boss.
I think here building the damn kitchen. I'm not out there monitoring where the toilet goes.
You saw it. The fact that you
see
know
what
that
I'm
the
saying,
toilet
man.
is on the lawn.
See, everybody's a project manager when she's 20 miles away.
I have an answer to solve 2 problems here.
Yeah. He's going to tell you right now. We talked about this today.
Plant your Scotch broom in it, and you have a flower pot.
No, but you don't understand. That's the toilet that's going into our bathroom.
You got to go with a toilet.
We're using that toilet.
No, you need to upgrade that one.
Yeah.
No.
Go Toto.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, well, okay. First of all, I've done the research. Yep. I already looked into Toto. It's very expensive. This is a one-piece toilet that is also expensive. And it didn't look like that when he took it out of the bathroom. It just looked like that from sitting outside for 6 months.
It's kind of like saying that 1972 BMW with 450,000 miles. That was really expensive.
I like shitting on this bowl. It's the low profile.
That thing, okay, I'm 6 foot tall. That thing is so low. It's like
then you can go into our other bathroom with the high-rise toilet.
That's like putting a short bucket on the floor.
It pretty much is, yeah.
But that's the one I look forward to.
She likes the low toilets, like everybody likes the comfort height now.
So my feet fall asleep on the tall
this new
one.
bathroom is going to be her bathroom. So when I tore out the last one, the toilet that was in there was fairly new. The previous owners had just put it in there. It's a one-piece, real low. It's very small, and she loved it. And she's like, I want to put this back in the new bathroom. And we're like, well, let's just get a new one. And she's like, well, but I like this one.
And I looked into getting that toilet in black so it would match, and it's very, very expensive. I'm like, there's no reason to not use this toilet.
You ever had black toilets, though?
They're rough to keep clean, man.
Water
stains,
water spots, all that little stuff that the
calcium.
Is a white ring now on a black toilet.
Oh.
They're a disaster.
Yeah, well, just the price alone, I'm not doing it. But
man, if you got a Toto, though, you don't really have to do much cleaning.
I know.
Eric knows people at Toto.
If you know people at Toto, I would love.
Make some phone calls.
A Toto. I already looked into it because that's what I want.
It'd be nice to have some warm water splashing up with the spray cleaner and then have it blown dry.
Charcoal filters,
I would love
for
that.
him, wouldn't he?
Isn't there like some LED lights there?
That's a toilet after my own heart. Yep. Believe me.
And you know what's cool?
You can
when
LED
he walks
illuminate.
out of the room, the toilet lid closes.
Automatically.
And
when you press the other button, there's a hand that comes out between your leg and actually
it's a reach around.
That is the premium version. That's the upgrade. But I'll tell you what, it's worth every penny.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, think of what you have to pay for that at a massage parlor.
True.
I mean,
now you have a choice.
Money.
You can get the hairy man hand, or you can get the welly manicured with full nail set, female hand.
Ironically, they're the same hand.
That's scary. Sahishi.
Yeah.
You got a tranny in your bowl.
Exactly.
Well, I'm trying to figure out the logic behind it, that the fact that you knew that our toilet is in the middle of our lawn, but yet you didn't give anybody direction to move it.
Yeah, I honestly, it's not really on the radar today. I've been trying to build our cabinets today, so what the guys are doing.
You spent the morning cleaning this house after I left work, and I know all the things that were different than when I left, because every time we have a guest over, I told Eric.
There's a really easy solution to this when you get home. Take your ass out there and move the wheelbarrow with the toilet in it if you don't like where it is.
Every time we have guests over, Skip gets into cleaning mode because he doesn't clean when people don't come over. It's all on me. So then all of a sudden, there's all this shit that's been like right now you could bounce a quarter off the bed. I can't believe how tight you got that comforter.
Yeah.
So there's all this shit that you did because we were having a guest come over. But yet you leave the toilet in the middle of the lawn. I know it is, but yet you leave the toilet in the lawn. What is that? How is that
because it's a renovation.
There's also a 30-yard dumpster in the driveway. Yeah. We're under construction.
That's not okay. Nobody's going to think of that as the same thing. It's in the middle of the lawn by itself. Yeah. It's not even
We were
just
saying this the other day. You could stand anywhere on our property. You can't see another neighbor's house because it's so secluded here. Yeah. No one's seen that toilet but you, investigator Bedell.
Okay, we have a driveway.
If you're that bothered with it, get out there and move it. There you go.
That's not my job.
Okay, well then stop complaining.
I don't do moving toilets.
All right, then.
But you can see from the driveway.
See what I'm working with here, Eric?
Driveway.
See, man? See what I'm working with?
I think, speaking as a designer, I think you need to store that in that metal bin that's in front of the other metal bin that's right out here.
Yeah, there's a large 30-yard metal bin that
31
has a big, giant swinging
door
on the back.
Versus the roll-up one?
Yeah, that's the one that gets picked up by the truck every couple of months and gets taken away. Yeah.
If I get a Toto, that thing is going in the bin. Maybe Craigslist, but I will be very happy with it.
Who buys a used toilet?
Everybody's buying everything.
Hey, buying used underwear.
It's non-negotiable, all right?
Non-negotiable.
It's an expensive toilet.
You know how many quality craps I took in this toilet?
You know what?
Listen, I'm famous, okay? Yeah. Do you know how many famous dumps were in this toilet?
That's how we need to market this stuff.
We can Sharpie signature the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Skip Bedells took a giant shit on this toilet.
That's right.
Yep.
There's been a couple times I didn't even put the seat up. Go check it out. You'll see.
He fell off this one.
Oh, my God.
You never know. People buy that shit, man.
That's what I'm saying. It can't hurt to put it on Craigslist and let go. People buy anything.
Maybe both
and
you guys
everything.
can sign it.
So when we're doing contractor, we have a trailer where we're on set every day and makeup and wardrobe and all that stuff. Each morning when we come in, Adam likes to get a haircut from the makeup girls. So a lot of times when he comes in, he asks for a haircut, and his hair must must grow like every 3 days on set he'd be getting another trim. But the thing is, the makeup girl is set up in our trailer. His trailer is nobody's in there but him. So he comes into our trailer.
I get the makeup, all the makeup.
So he goes into his trailer to get dressed, and then he'll come into our trailer before we go to set and get his makeup done in our private trailer. So that's where he gets his hair cut. So now for the rest of the damn day, I got to walk around and curl his hair on the carpet, right?
Man. Little
pubes. So the girl was cleaning it up, right? Yeah. And so she got this handful of. He's got like kind of like very curly hair, right?
Pubic.
So it's kind of pubish, kind of Brillo-ish, right? Yeah. So she's got this handful of Corolla's hair. So Alice is like, give me that. So she has a friend of hers that's like an Adam Carolla freak nut. So she called her up. She's like, I have some of Carolla's hair. She's like, oh, send it to me. Yeah. So like, who knows what she's doing with it? So the girl was like, she's like, I could sell this online. It's like people would actually pay for this. I'm like, listen, I don't care what the fuck you do with it. Just get it out of my trailer. You can sell it. You can rub one out with it. I don't care. Just get it off the floor because I'm walking around stuck to. I go home at night. I take my shoes and socks off. I got Carolla's pubes on the bottom of my socks. I was like, God damn it. Again, every pair of socks I have still to this day, you put them through the laundry 30 fucking times, it's still got Carolla's hair on it. I just throw them out.
You should be selling those on Craigslist.
That's what I'm saying, man. So getting back to the toilet, that's right. They're
Yeah. You know, and plus some of your tools, you have your initials on them. Like, should we advertise them as Skip Bedells tools?
I don't know. Hey, see what happens. It can't hurt, you know.
I can put a link with a picture of you guys, on the show and say these are his tools.
Well, I can tell you that those tools have built a lot of homes and a lot of famous people they've worked on. I did a lot of big famous people out in the Hamptons and all kinds of stuff. So those tools have seen a lot of action.
Yeah.
Many of which, even some of them have been on the set of Catch a Contractor. They've gotten around.
Wow, man. Maybe you can do those and, as seen in season 2.
Yeah. What do they call it? A provenance? You list you list the episodes that you might have seen. So we actually have to send a clip, the footage of the actual scene where you saw me holding that tool.
You've got a signature of a certificate of authenticity.
Yeah, we can do the black T-shirts too. We can get rid of your T-shirts and sign it with a silver Sharpie.
Oh yeah, my Baby Gap T-shirts. Spike they put me in the smallest shirts you could possibly. They'd show up with wardrobe, and it was like, I'm like holding it like this. Like, really?
You kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh God,
that's awesome.
And then just the opposite for you, right? You had to be covered up, everything. No tattoos and no boobs, no nothing.
It's like that.
See, that double standard drives me insane.
It was. They were very discriminatory against everything that I am. It's like, oh, you're perfect. You're an investigator. You're a female. You're perfect. Now change everything. Cut your hair. Wear no tattoos. Wear long sleeves. No boobs. Look like you just gave birth in this maternity shirt.
All right, so we want you to come with short hair, no boobs, small ass, short legs, and flip-flops. Can you do that?
Yeah, let me go call Rosie O'Donnell.
That's what I was going to say. You just described Rosie O'Donnell. I'm like, that just became
funny, man.
So less hot. That chubby just went away.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
That was like a...
I know. You
I heard a suction noise here. Yeah. Like an airlock at Star Trek.
Wrecked Eric's wood.
Yeah. It was like a door on Star Trek where it just went...
Oh, God.
That's funny. It's like the space shuttle crashing down to Earth.
Yeah.
Breaking up on impact and back into the atmosphere.
We have some listener questions.
Oh, cool. That's right, because it's Tip Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tip Tuesday.
Tip Tuesday.
Tip Tuesday.
Yeah, all right.
Okay,
the whole thing can't be about boobs and deeks.
Deeks.
When helping people with their homes, they call Skip Bedell.
You want to avoid a headache and save money, he's the man to talk to. Skip Bedell.
The first question we have is from our friend of the show, Michelle Mertz.
Ah, Michelle.
She's always listening and always contributing, and we appreciate it.
From out in California.
Yeah, out in California. So she submitted a picture of her. She said, "This area of counter space is my primary prep area. If I were able to convince Curtis to upgrade and change that area to a different surface, what would be the best material that could be multi-purpose? Example of is something that I could roll out dough, cut, put hot pans on, etc." So first,
well, there's a question for Eric G.
Yeah. So check out this picture. This is This is one of her pictures that she submitted. This is the area that she's talking about. I said, well, what does the rest of the kitchen look like? And this.
Okay, so she's got tile countertops.
Yeah, this is the area. And then this is the rest of the kitchen. So that area is, I think, over here.
Okay.
I got to sneak around and look at your monitor. So it's actually a grouted tile countertop?
It's a grouted tile countertop,
okay.
Yeah. So
you don't want to be rolling out anything on that.
No.
Yeah, they're not actually the most sanitary type because a grout can hold bacteria and stuff like that. So you might want to put some sort of board on top of it. So
yeah, I mean, if it was
solid
me
surface.
in that, I would either go quartz or I would do some kind of a butcher block type of situation to replace it, depending on budget.
Right.
You know, a quartz countertop in there would be killer.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
So that's a man-made product the kind of composite, like Silestone is a big brand with that. Caesar Stone.
In California, there's a brand out there on the West Coast that's called Pental. They've got down in the LA area. We have it up in Seattle. Pental. And we use a fair amount up in the Northwest. It's a great budget brand.
Oh.
So it's like 20% less than the other quartz prices.
Oh.
So Pental, yeah, it's a killer price point. And
yeah, we use Caesar Stone and Silestone a lot out here.
Yeah, we use both of those there as well. But yeah, it's about 20% less, so it saves some money on the budgets. And
they've come a long way too with that product because for a long time it all looked very uniform to me.
It's kind of Corian-esque,
kind of like Formica countertops, to where like the imitation granite Formica, to where it didn't matter if you cut if you saw this corner or that corner, it's exactly the same repetition of the print, the design.
Now, what do you make of this overhang that she has on the right side? How would that go with that material you're talking about?
I'll be honest, you could do that with it, but I don't know if I'd use that. It's kind of that overhang's not like the best area there. It's not like you're going to put a stool up against it.
Right.
And you guys can take a look. It's posted up here on the
it's on there
thing,
because it just looks like a potential for breakage.
It's weird, I mean, you can usually with quartz go 10 to 12 inches on the overhang.
Yeah,
without
about
having
12
to
is
put
usually
support.
the max. And you put some sort of corbel or post underneath it.
Or even go to Home Depot and get another cabinet underneath.
You can do that too. It's just not going to match. You're going to have to come up with a way. That's the only hard part.
Is that something that she's pushing stools up underneath? I can't see the picture there.
But it looks like a standard, like what we got outside. It looks like the same oak cabinet.
Okay.
It's kind of like your old oak that you had.
Gotcha, like a whitewash type of oak.
That you made into your outdoor kitchen.
Oh, yeah. Right, okay, gotcha.
So kind of tough to match it, and that's the hard part when you got a little piece like that.
But you know what? With our outdoor kitchen, we used that amazing paint.
That worked out great.
Yeah, that's Rust-Oleum. It's called Restore by Rust-Oleum. And I got to tell you, it's the first time we've ever used it. I was very impressed with that product. And I'm not just saying that because Home Depot pushes it. But that product was easy to install. So even if you have cabinets, we did it over the weekend. The two of us did it, and it was so easy. You really can't mess it up. So you think of refinishing cabinets, you got to sand them down to bare wood. It's a nightmare. It's a lot of work, right? You got to get all the old stain off, the old clear coat, just to get down. So especially if you want to stain again, to get the wood to where it'll accept the stain, you got to get down to bare wood everywhere. And if you miss the tiniest little spot, you're going to see where it didn't take the stain.
Yeah.
This stuff here goes on kind of like a paint. No sanding, no nothing. You go right over your old clear coat over everything. And I got to tell you, it was even one coat. You think, you got to do multiple coats because
it looks killer.
It's going to be streaky. I mean,
it does.
It's really nice, right?
Yeah.
So we went from that light, white-washed color
pickled oak,
pickled oak, which was big back in the 80s. Is when that cabinet, kitchen was done.
The 80s wants
with the Formica tops and everything, right?
Yep.
And we went over it with this dark, it's like an espresso color stain.
Espresso was the color
with like a black glaze on it. And man, I got to tell you, it looks just like $1 million. It's like a brand new cabinet. Threw some different hardware in there.
Looks like brand new cabinets.
Yeah, it looks great out there. It does.
Yeah, because the quality of the finish makes it look like not just a new cabinet, but it looks like
it's
new
a hell of a
cabinets.
lot cheaper option. I mean, we spent like $50 on the stain. It comes in a kit, so it comes with the actual a cleanser that you wipe down just with a sponge. You wipe off any grease or whatever, and you get it like a prep. Really easy. It dries in 15 minutes, and now you can put this color coat on. And then after that, you go over that with a glaze coat.
Okay.
So the stuff dries so fast. I mean, it was dry in 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So they tell you it's a 2-day process. We actually did it in 1 day. And we did it together. We had a good time. So maybe that's an idea, Michelle. You and Curtis can kind of make a day out of it. Take your old cabinets and refinish them. Yeah. You'll feel great about it because when you look at them, you're like, wow, we did that. And you save yourself, a few grand or whatever. And you're going to go
impressed.
It really looked nice, right?
And it's holding up. You're using an outdoor kitchen setting, and it's still holding
Yeah,
up.
we were throwing those cabinets in the dumpster. And I'm like, only out of necessity because while we're doing the other kitchen, we have no sink, no cabinets, no nothing, no countertop. So I'm like, let me just throw these outside, like underneath the roof area we have. It's out of the rain and stuff. I put a plywood top on it. I dropped the old sink in there and just ran some water out to it. So it was a makeshift thing. And the more I looked at it, I'm like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, well, man, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And we saw this Restore stuff by Rust-Oleum and Home Depot, and we're like, let's just give it a shot. What do we got to lose? If we hate it, we'll throw them in a dumpster. Or we'll get rid of them.
Exactly, yeah.
But now we have a whole outdoor kitchen that looks amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can totally do that.
They have a variety of colors, a whole long line of colors.
Yeah, there's a full color chart of colors.
Yeah, so Michelle...
That's badass stuff.
Yeah, I think Michelle needs to actually do that to all of her cabinets.
And as far as the prep area, they have a lot of freestanding, like rolling islands. That you can get that are like 2x3 or 2x4 foot, with depending on the size, whatever area you have to store the thing when you're not using it, you kind of roll it out of the way. And they're cool. They're kind of like butcher block top or
Craftmate has some even that match your kitchens that already have the wheels and everything already installed.
Yeah, they're
ready
awesome,
to go.
right? And you tuck them out of the way when you're not using them. And then if you don't have room for a full-time island in your kitchen, you kind of roll this thing out of the corner when you want it. You have a little makeshift island. Yeah. You prep all your food up on it. You wipe it down. You push it back in the corner. And it's a nice alternative. You can buy stuff like that right over the counter. Oh, yeah. The home centers all have them. Right?
Oh, yeah, they've all got them.
Yeah.
Well, look online. There's a huge selection of them. You can even find them on Amazon, everywhere.
Yeah. Michelle, you're remodeling your kitchen. And
click through our banner.
Michelle's going to have to redo her whole kitchen now because I've got tons of ideas just looking at it.
Okay.
So.
I know a good contractor.
I know a designer.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. Danielle Singleton said, what is the standard weight load per hanging cabinet? Can you reinforce without taking them down?
First question is, what are you trying to put up there?
Well, all right, so weight load on a cabinet, we're talking about just putting cabinet screws through your cabinet, hopefully into studs, because that would be the optimal way to mount them to the wall. If not, you got to use some really good anchors. And if they're not mounted properly and you load them up with heavy stacks of plates and dishes and glasses, it might wind up coming down, especially if it's particle board back. Yeah. A lot of cabinetries aren't solid wood construction or plywood backing. Yeah. They might have a particle board in the back. And that stuff is only going to hold up to to so much weight. So.
Not to bash a key, I wouldn't go hanging off that if you put that up on the wall.
Right,
it's just all kind of put together. And
right, they got the
little cam locks,
the torque cam locks in the corners. Exactly. Right, all you need is a Phillips head screwdriver.
Yeah, that particle board's going to kind of come apart on it. But if you got something that's solid up there, you can put a couple 100 pounds up there pretty easy. Yeah. If it's the right cabinet made out of plywood, built correctly.
Yeah, I think we need some more information. I think we need some more information. If you could provide us with a picture of what your cabinet looks like on the inside, show us the screws that you're using, and also take a minute and if you don't have a stud finder, locate one of your studs. And find out if the screws that you have that are mounting the cabinets are actually into any structure that are holding it up. If they are, and the cabinet's constructed properly, like Eric said, you can put a lot of weight in there.
Yeah.
I mean, more weight than you should have in a cabinet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You could probably, if you could fit yourself in there, you might even want to hang out in there.
It's funny, exactly.
Contortion yourself into a small ball. A
lot of people don't realize that a kitchen, the lifespan, if you talk to insurance agents and stuff, that's 15 years.
Right.
That's what they say the lifespan of a kitchen is.
Right. Well, the kitchen is the most used room in your house, right?
They say so. If you talk about if you talk about what the lifespan of a kitchen is, it's 15 years is what the industry standard is.
So is that aesthetically, or is that actually for the function, like the mechanics, the plumbing, electric, and the things that before you start having problems?
Yeah. If you look at it as far as the kitchen cabinetry and that kind of stuff, if you look at it and say, okay, what's the lifespan of that before we say, oh, that's like a total loss, like if it was a car,
right? Hinges are falling off the door. Right, yeah.
At 15 years, they say that's done. That's what the planned lifespan of a kitchen is. So when you see plenty of cabinet manufacturers out there, if you read through all of their detailed warranty, it's got a lifetime warranty, and there's more than one national brand out there. If you read through it, a lifetime warranty is 15 years.
Right. Now, I wonder, is the 15 years with no kids? Because I think they probably take off like 5 years per kid.
Exactly.
So if you have 3 kids, you're basically down to 5-year warranty.
Yeah. And if they're little and they're going to use it as stairs, the drawers as stairs up there, to get to the Oreos that are in the top shelf.
Pull-ups on them and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now with all the self-closing drawers and cabinet doors and everything else, the hardware and the cabinets themselves take a lot less abuse because the kids can't slam them shut, and
kids, wives can't show their husband they're pissed at them for something.
Yeah, right.
I'll
show you.
Slam.
And you can't even do that. You know what that reminds me of? Like with these self-closing drawers, the easy shut. You can't slam anything shut now because it stops itself and then it goes real easy. And it's the same fucking thing as with cell phones now. When you're pissed off at somebody, you can't slam the phone down on them.
Yeah. You just go bang. You just slam it. You can hear the bell on the phone ring. It's just like
yeah. Now you can just press a button.
Now
it's like it doesn't have the same effect.
Did I get dropped or was that like a cell phone problem or did we get disconnected? Yeah, there's no drama in that. There's not
Nope.
Yeah.
Kind of like a payphone. You can even hear that if you did it right on a payphone, you can hear the change.
Yeah, you just touch the little red dot on the screen now.
Yep.
Think.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh
man,
that's awesome.
What we got? More questions?
I got another one. How should a kitchen range hood be properly vented?
Outside, and outside.
Okay, so code also, depending upon what kind of stove you're cooking with there, but codes will also call, if you have a gas stove, which is the optimal choice, most people, if you don't have gas, want to switch to gas, as we're doing, right? We don't even have gas in this neighborhood, so we got to go with LP or propane. If you're using a gas-powered stove, you need to vent out. You need to exhaust everything outside. So you're going to need to have an exterior vent and all that ducted to the outside of the house. You can get away with a recirc setup, as a lot of hoods will come now, and microwave hood combos will come with a recirc option.
See, those are outlawed in Washington, Oregon now.
Yeah, not every state is the same.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
we can't recirc anything now, even if it was an electric cooktop.
Even with electric stove, So I think with California, I think with New York too, if it's electric, you can recirc it. It's still, I don't think, the best way, because basically what you're doing now is you're pulling the smoke and the grease and everything through a filter.
Yeah.
It's filtering out a lot of the stuff in that
grease
smoke.
Particles, at least.
And basically, it's blowing the air back into the room. Yeah. So it will reduce, what's in that in the air, but it's not really going to bring it to so much better quality of air.
See, in Washington, Oregon, if you put the killer, if you got more of a pro style, if you put in a 450 CFM and up fan, they make you put makeup airs, because what happens is that new houses are being built so tight that you're creating a vacuum in.
Yeah.
And then you have the danger, if you've got let's say you've got a gas water heater, you can suck back the vent, the carbon monoxide venting out.
Right.
And if you've got let's say you got a Wolf cooktop that's cranking out there, like a 36-inch pro style Wolf cooktop, and you put a 1,000 CFM fan on there, which is pretty common for those.
Right.
If you don't put that makeup air, now you've got 1,000 CFM coming out and nothing replacing it.
Right.
Well, it's going to go to that path of least resistance, and now it's your gas fireplace.
Or
it's your gas, and all of a sudden you're pulling carbon monoxide in and setting off your carbon monoxide.
Right.
And then you got a
new construction now,
problem.
Like these envelope houses, they're built so tight that they're really not. The only ventilation is what you create.
Yeah.
You have to create man-made ventilation. They're not breathing through the envelope.
Now you're bringing in that new air to replace the stuff that you're sucking out.
Yeah. Interesting how the codes change with so many things, everything from structure to plumbing, electric, and everything we do. And even just with materials, it wasn't that long ago that you could paint with lead paints. Now all that stuff is outlawed. The things that they use to fireproof houses that we know as poisonous now with asbestos, all those things, because they find that over time through different UL testings and different processes that a lot of these things aren't actually safe. They're not.
Did you know they
in
still
our best
use
interest.
asbestos in new products out there today?
In some things,
You look at it and it'll say organic materials.
Right. It's asbestos.
That's asbestos.
So asbestos is not dangerous, as a lot of people already know, if it's encapsulated. So it can be used if it's there's asbestos in a lot of different products that are actually encapsulated in other products. So if it's encapsulated in asphalt or in between other materials where it can't become airborne, an airborne.
Well, yeah. Look at brake pads.
Right.
Organic material brake pads. Those are just asbestos brake pads.
So, you think about it, those brake pads are getting worn down every time you step on the brakes. So, really, if you're walking down, the side road of a highway where there's 100 cars going by, you're breathing in brake dust, right? You're pretty much breathing in asbestos, right?
Many cases,
there's a lot of things that happen with building industry especially. They just, over time, they've changed the materials that we use, and whereby also now that forces us to change the process of installations and how we do our jobs. So it's funny, like you talk about the CFMs with those hoods. We now have to do different things to install those hoods. What not very long ago we didn't have to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, like right now in Oregon, the Portland area, if you're a homeowner and you go tear into, like, you're going to do your own bathroom model, do your own demo, like you see on all these TV
everybody
shows.
wants to do their own demo.
I'm going to go out and do my own demo and create more work it's going to cost them more money by doing their own demo. When they go out and do that, and they run up with the pickup truck down to the dump, and they've got the lath and plaster, and they got the vinyl flooring and stuff in there.
Right, yeah.
They have to have that tested by a certified tester.
Right.
So if they
You
don't
got the asbestos
do that,
tiles and stuff.
they got to get that stuff. They have to get an asbestos survey. So they'll spend $800 to $1,000.
Yeah.
They turn them around, they kick them out of the dump, and you're not taking it here until you have your paperwork.
Yeah.
So every job now has to have let's call it a $800 big job, $2,000 probably asbestos survey done to prove that there's not asbestos on it. And then when they go to the dump, they've got a sheet saying that it's clean.
Right.
But that just happened this
A
last
lot of
year.
the old tiles, flooring tiles, ceiling tiles, things, and many old homes that are built in 1970 and prior to that have asbestos. Even the asphalt tiles that we put on the floor, the old 12 by 12 tiles, most of them have a high content of asbestos in it, which they're fine if they're glued to the floor. But when you start busting them up and scraping them and they become dust and they become airborne, during the demolition process, now you're inhaling it.
I have an old ad that I think was like Armstrong.
Mesothelioma?
Yep.
Mesothelioma.
Yes, absolutely. Mesothelioma, yep.
I have an ad that's out of a 60s like Women's Day magazine, and it's it was like Armstrong or a major brand. I can't remember.
Yeah, Armstrong. Yeah, sure.
And it goes, Armstrong flooring, now with added asbestos for durability.
Oh, that's great.
And it's just the headline of it, and I'm like, that's funny.
That was right next to the Lucky Strikes ad in the magazine. It said, Lucky Strikes, it's for your health.
It's for your health.
Be healthy, smoke Lucky Strikes.
Yeah, it'll make you skinnier, just like cancer.
What else we got there, wifey? You got any other questions? Anybody doing any live call-ins tonight where we got Eric G in the house?
Well, there was earlier, but we were.
Oh, okay.
You guys were.
What else we got? Any other Tip Tuesday stuff?
That's it for the Tip Tuesday
right
related questions.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I got some good questions.
Yeah, that's definitely some good stuff. And a lot of it was kitchen related too, so good that you're here.
Yes,
no kidding.
yes.
Got the kitchen expert.
Yeah, you're going to need to come back every week now.
Yeah, you need to be a steady guest. We're just going to build you a room up here in the top, and this way you don't have to get a hotel. You come and stay with us, man.
There we go.
Yeah. Right.
Next to the cat shack.
Oh,
yeah, you haven't seen the cat room yet. We got to take you up there and show it to you.
Yeah, that was the first thing that he did, first project in this house.
Yeah, but actually it was, because when we moved in Christmas Eve. It was December, so it's still too cold.
Yeah.
As soon as the weather broke, we started going outside and did all the other stuff I showed you on the outside.
But he had that cat room done by February.
Well, there's a funny story behind that. I'm actually allergic to cats, and I never had cats. So now I'm moving in with her. When we first got this house together, would you have 4 or 5 cats?
I had 4. Yeah.
And you were dying.
Dude, the first couple of months I lived in this house, I was in bed. I couldn't breathe. My throat was closed up.
Yeah.
So I need now, out of necessity, to survive, I need to build a room for them to put them in so I don't have to be around them all the time. At least there's some place we can keep them.
Yep.
And so that was my
Let's just
mission.
clarify before you get off on your wrong story.
It's not wrong.
It's wrong because the previous homeowners had 2 normal domestic short-hair cats.
Right.
And I had Sphinx and Devon Rex, which are the cats that people get when they have allergy issues.
Yeah, they're much better than regular long-hair cats. Yeah, but
they're about 95% better.
Absolutely better. But
your problems were from the previous owner's cats. Not
whatever
from
it
ours.
was, what kind of condition was I in when we first moved into this house?
You're all fucked up.
Real bad, dude. I mean,
So I'd like to get you a sign up there that goes in the door. It's going to say Skip's Cat House.
Oh, yeah, man. A little neon sign, right?
Sign,
that blinks red lights,
yep.
right?
The cat house is the part that blinks.
The cat house, yeah. Yeah, I like it, man. Yeah. There you go.
Baby,
See,
yeah.
You've got your own cat. Your own.
I know, you do.
I mean the cat.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Which kitty cat are you talking about? Here, kitty. I do. One of our cats, Hercules, he's a Sphinx. He's the hairless cat. I don't know if you've seen him running around.
Yeah, I showed him.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's my boy. Like he loves his daddy. So he's like a dog. I mean, I was never really into cats, but until these cats, like they have so much personality, unlike a lot of other cats that are kind of more like they're on their own. They don't want to be bothered with you unless they want to.
Cats,
And then you'll feed them and they'll rub on you a little bit, and then you won't see them for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
These cats want to be around you all the time, and they follow you around like a dog.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you not pay attention to him? So I'm constantly holding him, and the cat, you could just see in his face, like he just loves.
Nice.
When I pick him up, he's like, he just loves his dad. So it's kind of cool, you know. Like I have this bond with him, which I never imagined having. And the Sphinx don't bother me at all because they have no hair.
Yeah, there's nothing
so it's kind of a different experience for me. But man, when I first moved into this house, holy God, I have like seasonal allergies. You know, in the springtime, whenever pollen and stuff.
Oh yeah,
and I couldn't breathe. I had zero air going.
Oh, I go to my mom's house and she's got 2 cats, and I can't stay over there more than a day or two.
It's horrible.
I'm dying.
Yeah, I've worked in a few of my customers' homes that have long hair cats, and from the second I walk in the front door, my eyes start tearing and throat closing up and coughing.
Yeah.
And it's bad, you know.
See, I get that, and then I get that with mold too, which is awesome.
Oh yeah,
I can walk into somebody's house and go,
"Yeah, mold.
What's the water problem you got in here?"
Yeah.
Well, you need to come look at my bathroom, and I can smell that. And they'll go, "Oh, do I have mold?" I'm like, "Yeah, you got to check that out."
This was the one that we had before that one. She passed
Oh,
away,
yeah.
but that was his girl before.
Yeah, she loved Daddy
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But she's, you can see she's totally hairless.
Totally, yeah. But
all over him, and he's fine.
They just get they're very affectionate like
No
that.
kidding.
So you can see her, like that was a daily routine with her, and she would jump up on my arms, and she just, couldn't get enough. You just rub it up.
That's awesome.
And they're very different than you would picture cats being.
Oh yeah, that's not your typical cat.
No, not at all. And I could never do that with a regular cat.
No,
I'd be in the hospital.
Exactly.
They just like to rub on my beard.
Yeah.
I guess it's because scratches their face. They'll rub their face on my beard. And I'm thinking, like, I could never in a million years imagine letting a cat do that to me on my face. But
first off, you'd probably just completely break out. Second of all, when they take a swipe
I'd be in the
at you,
ICU. Yeah, in a respirator.
That
or
wouldn't
something.
end well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little make-out session. A little girl.
That's cool.
So anyway, so the cat room was a cool project, and so we'll show you that before you head back out to Portland. Cool. But all right, so what do we got going on? We wrapping up here? Any more questions or anything interesting in the news that we need to know about Allison Bedell on the streets? Girl on the streets, Allison Bedell. What do we need to know?
Gosh, you put me on the spot.
All right, never mind then. You can cut this part out.
What's next in traffic?
She's like, no, there's no,
Next up, traffic and weather.
And today on the interstate, be sure to steer clear at exit 52.
Yeah.
That's one thing I noticed out here, too. Like, I cut up through, I can't remember how I cut up here, but I took one of the, not the main freeway, but one of the other side roads.
Yeah.
And the bridge, the stone bridge things, how low they are.
Oh, yeah.
Man, if you had like a big lifted truck, you could like
so what we have here are parkways, and then there are highways, county and state highways, and then we have the expressway, which is the big 4-lane on either side of the expressway. Those are all commercial vehicles that run from one end of the island all the way west to New York City.
Yeah.
So those are all the big tractor trailers drive on that. But when you get off of that, the commercial trucks can't go on the parkways because the overpasses are too low. So you go through that clover leaf and you come back down over the overpass, and you ever see a truck with the top peeled off like a sardine can? That's because they got off on the wrong exit.
I saw some of those exits, and they're like on the outside lane, it's like 7'4". I'm like, dang,
those
that's
trucks
like a parking garage.
Those trucks are 13 to 14 feet. Like tractor trailers.
Yeah.
So there's a story back behind that. Some of the big names, big industrial names back in the turn of the century and the Industrial Revolution and stuff, when like Rockefellers and all the big names were coming to New York, and they were building vacationing homes out in the Hamptons and out in Montauk and stuff. I think it wasn't Eisenhower. Eisenhower was a big person with Eisenhower Park. There's also from what's the park over by Fire Island? Robert Moses. Robert Moses developed a lot of the roads here, and he was a big industrial developer and stuff. And when he built a lot of the highways, it went from the city out to this now new vacation spot, which is really for the affluent only.
Yeah.
They built those overpasses so low so buses couldn't fit underneath them. So all people who didn't have cars from the city and the urban areas would not be able to get to the highfalutin areas. Yeah. So a lot of people don't know that, but the reason why the overpass is so low is so you can't get a bus.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so the only people who had cars back then were wealthy people.
Exactly.
And if you didn't have a car, we don't want you out here.
Yeah.
No, I mean, not us. But back then, that's the way they thought.
Yeah.
So,
That's crazy.
And it's funny how they built. So all the big, super big mansions and stuff are out there on the East End, and huge properties, and they named lakes after them and highways and parkways and everything. And that's what went on with those roadways.
Okay,
I only learned that a couple of years ago, and I started like, wow, it makes a lot of sense. I get it now.
Yeah, because I was like, dang, man, those things are crazy.
Yeah, well, that was back like in the back, riding the back of the bus days, and you can't get on this train day, all that, all that stuff.
All that craziness.
So a lot of things were done to keep the way society was, to preserve that way of life.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want your kind
of subversive ways of doing it. But
I mean, it's sad to think that's the way it was back then, but that's the way it was. And those were the people that had the money that were building the road. So we're going to build it the way we want to build it. And that's what they did.
The unspoken building codes.
Yeah, so you can, and that was before there was any expressways and stuff. So there was only one road that went from the city all the way to the end of the island. And that was these parkways. That was the one that I was on. That's it.
Yeah.
So you're not, unless you got a horse and buggy, you're not getting out there.
You're not going out there. That's crazy.
And if you can afford a horse, well, we'll take you.
Yeah. What app did you use to get over here?
I use Waze.
Oh, thank God.
Waze is great.
Okay.
I love it. That's all I use.
Yeah. Now, do you contribute to it by reporting?
Oh, all the time.
Okay.
I've got all those little stars and crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know about the contributing to the stuff?
Yeah. Do you know
the points and all that?
how that
you know
benefits
how that works?
you?
Oh yeah, you get other. I'm trying to think how that works. I did. That's.
The more points that you have for contributing, the better routes you get.
Yeah.
So
I contribute all the time. It's like, oh, traffic.
So
we
know this because we have been side by side in the car, and we both have Waze on. And a lot of times when we're in California, Allison will drive because many times on the way to the set to catch contract or wherever we're filming, I have to read through material that day for building plans or codes, whatever I got to be familiar with. Yeah. So she'll do a lot of the driving, and I can read up on these things. And we might both have our Waze on at the same time, and she has a completely different route than me. But trippy. I don't sit there as I'm driving on the road, and I don't click off police and accident and all the things. They are, to me, promoting you using your phone while you're driving. I don't think it's safe.
I've got mine memorized, so I can sit there and just go boom, 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 boom. And
not even look at it.
But really, what they're asking you to do is they want you to look at your phone and press, hazard in the road, press a police car here or whatever. So now all the people that are looking at the app can see that interaction, the feedback. But if you think about it, it's promoting you using your phone while you're driving. So I don't overdo it. And I heard that was what was going on. I'm like, no, that can't be. But sure enough, because I don't do it at all and she does, her route was 13 minutes faster than mine. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What's up with that, man?
No, I contribute all the time because I'm just like, if I can save somebody from getting a ticket from some...
Right, yeah, no, I mean, that's cool. I'm totally with it. I just don't do it.
Yeah.
It's one more thing for me to do. Yeah. But you do it religiously.
Yeah. And I do it for the sole purpose, really, to get the points.
I want the best route too. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, actually, in Oregon, they just started the Department of Highway just started actually giving their traffic data to Waze.
What?
Yeah, so they're taking their computer traffic maps of the current traffic, and it's going to mesh in with it to make it more accurate.
Oh wow!
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's interactive. So the information is coming from the drivers rather than News Chopper 12.
Yeah, well, they have sensors in the road and stuff like that, so they will actually put that data into Waze as well, just to help out, because they're there's heavy traffic on that road. They know it by the sensors, and so they're going to mesh that in with it as well, which would be kind of cool.
That's
interesting.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Technology, man.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Who knew?
All right, then. Well, listen, we want to put a big, huge thanks out to Mr. Eric Goranson, for being here with us on the podcast. And, of course, dude, all the input that you help us with this fabulous kitchen that you put together for us. Can't thank you enough, man. It's just really, it's far surpassed my expectations. And now that it's coming together, it's like we've been talking about this for months.
Oh, yeah.
There must have been, if there was one email, there was 1,000.
Yeah.
All right? There's pictures and photos, more phone conversations.
Yeah.
Well, what if we shave off a half an inch on this side? Can we squeak in? It's like we're having all these things, and you've never actually stood in the room.
Yeah.
So you're doing this design from over 3,000 miles away.
Yeah.
And now
I have
you
a
came
picture in my head from our phone calls.
So you just walked into your mental image built today is fully assembled.
Oh, yeah.
So that must have been a trip for you too.
It was cool to walk in and go, there's that fridge, because you and I spent a lot of time talking about that.
Yeah, we're building that custom kind of hidden cabinet behind the fridge, little secret compartment stuff, broom closet, and
I just wanted to throw out there though that you had been working on the floor for about a week, on your knees, lifting this heavy, heavy, heavy porcelain tile.
Good God.
So the last episode of the podcast, we just could not even sit down to record it because he was in so much pain between his back and the sciatica, and from being on his knees for so many days.
Oh,
yeah.
It was like he couldn't. He was.
I
just
love
exhausted.
the tile, but floors are rough, and this is such a huge floor, and it's it's just. to be on my knees for a couple of days like that, my body just says no now,
Yeah.
So
and
as much as
12
I
by
like
24
to do it,
porcelain tiles. Those things are not light.
no,
just for a single tile.
Yeah, I mean, there's like just hundreds and hundreds of feet of floor tile here, so. And, I did it by myself. Usually when I tile, especially with the floor, because there's so much mixing going on, and if you're working with, especially with like a fortified thin set, it sets up quickly.
Yeah.
So you got to move fast. And when you're setting a floor that big, I'm like meticulous. If you look at that tile, the tiles are level, the grout lines are perfect. So, like, you don't have time to get up now and go outside and put the mixer in the bucket and mix up a fresh batch of thin set, bring it back in. Then you're carrying a 60-pound bucket of thin set.
Yep.
So you do that, 100 times during the day. Back on your knees. I got to get up, make all the cuts.
Yep.
So usually I would use a helper. But I'm like, you know what? I'm here. I have the time. I'm just going to do it myself. And I did it myself.
Oh, yeah. And we saved a shit ton of money.
But I paid for it for days, man.
Yeah, you did like 500 60-pound squats.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to price this out, if I were GCing this job and I was bringing one of my tile guys in this job, the labor alone just to set this floor tile is about $3,000.
Yeah.
So that's not including the other $3,000 for the tile, right? So, and then the other $2,000 for the cement base. So you're talking like an $8,000-9,000 floor. So basically, I was able to do 90% of that work, still purchasing the material, save on the labor, and I'm like, you know what? It's like we'll save, some money. I could put that money towards somewhere else, and I have the time. I have a couple days out of my schedule. I'm gonna dedicate to do this floor.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta tell you, my tile guy's great. He's like, dude, I love you, man. He's like, I'll set the whole floor for $1,500. I'm like, that's a ridiculous price, and I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll let you know. Maybe I'll do that because I've tiled hundreds of floors.
Oh yeah,
and I know the floors are the worst, dude. On your body,
I hate them.
They kill you.
Them.
They kill you.
Yeah.
It's like it feels like someone baseball batted you for a steady day. You know. So I'm like, you know what? That $1,500 might be the best money I ever spent. So I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do it, and I did it. And for like 4 days, I was like, oh,
I'd much rather not have that $1,500 in my pocket.
Yeah,
$1,500 would buy this, make this go away right now.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
but then we got that
I probably should have spent that $1,500.
I was going to say, then your $1,500 microwave showed up, and then you're like,
yeah,
well, now we have a microwave.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. And you know what? I love doing this stuff myself. And because, like with the film and the show, and even like GC and jobs, you have other people doing a lot of the work. I like doing the work, but it's not always the smartest move because like my dad built houses for years and years, and he always told me, he's like, listen, I grew up with tools in my hand. He's like, listen, you will make a great living in the trades. You want to, whatever you want to be, a carpenter, you want to be electrician, plumber, you'll make a great living, you'll support your family. But the day you put your tool down, the day you stop working, whether it's you want to take a vacation, you're sick, you want to retire, the day you put your hammer on the table is the day you stop making money. The only way to make money in this business is to have 10 of you out there doing the work, and you sit back and tell them where the 10 to go.
Yeah.
Because then you can produce as much work as you if you're the guy doing the work, you can only be in one place physically at one time. So it makes a lot of sense. And being a GC, that you can't make money doing the work all exclusive. You have to have a workforce. You have to have people.
Because otherwise, by the time you get there, your body wears out. Your toes.
In this house, in this project, I wanted to do a lot of it myself. I wanted to. I'm putting the time into it. We have it's taken quite a while, but we took a couple of months and we did it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do as much of this as myself as I can. And it's been a great time. I love it. And now standing in this kitchen is like, wow, right? Like you were standing, like it's insane.
It's sick.
It's really it's special, right? Everything from all the custom woodwork on the ceiling and the
your
tiles
little touch
and
for his birthday. That's badass.
Yeah. Right? Oh, the brick.
The brick.
Yeah, I showed Eric that. And I'm like, look what an awesome wife I have. That was such a cool idea. Like, I never even would have thought. I don't even know where you found someone to do that. So, for those of you listening, we're doing a whole wall in this kitchen out of brick. And it's like old reclaimed brick. And we want to do that very rustic, old farmhouse, industrial, kind of steampunk look to it, right? So, it's a mixture of a lot of things going on in there. But, so with this brick wall, Allison came up with this idea for my birthday. She found some company that would actually take a brick and laser etch into the brick like this old school, like black writing into it, like etched into it. It says established 2016, like an old lighting, like the EST 2016, designed and built by Skip Bedell, and a date and all that. And that's going to be one of the 1,000 bricks that are on the wall that'll kind of just be peppered in there. And she's like, you know what? When we're long gone, when we're dead and gone, 100 years from now, someone's going to be in the house and they're like, I mean, that's who built this.
It's like that cornerstone on a building.
Yeah,
when you see it.
And I was like, wow, like it made me feel really good that she took the time to think to do that. Like because like she wants it to, like people to be like,
it's
like
completely badass.
Yeah, I was
just like, that is super cool.
Like I wouldn't even have thought to do that for myself.
Yeah, exactly.
And not only that, but for me to do it myself kind of seemed a little bit like, like a little self-serving and douchey,
exactly.
right? But like now I can get it without feeling like a douche.
Yeah, so
now
it's cute.
I mean,
it's cute. It's If you did it,
and I love her even more than I did the day before.
Well, you know what he did actually? When we got a new oil tank, and we used to have it under the ground, and he put it down into our basement, and he took out the stairs. Literally, he dug them out, and then he put the tank down, and he rebuilt.
Stairs there's a concrete staircase that goes down into this basement. It's kind of it's not really a full basement. It's kind of like a heating room. It has where the boiler is, and exactly.
It's
right.
very small, but he rebuilt the stairs.
But the tank wouldn't fit down the stairs. It's too big,
easy.
too long.
Yeah.
So I had to jackhammer out the entire concrete stairwell down to just now a giant rectangular hole in the ground. Drop the tank in long ways, like stand it up on its end, drop it in, and then swing it into the doorway, get it into the room, and then I had to remake all new concrete stairs behind me.
Of course.
What a production.
So when he did
you
that...
You got a 200-pound steel tank down there.
But it was days of work to get this oil tank down there.
So the top step where he redid the concrete, he with his finger drew a heart, and it says Allie and plus Skip.
Nice.
Inside the heart.
That's
So that was
school.
his contribution.
Yeah. It's cute, right? Eric's sticking his finger in his mouth right now, trying to put it down his throat. It's deep and back in the...
His house was built in 1945, and it's historical. Like, there's a historical neighborhood, actually, a lot of it, and a lot of it... there's also historical on that Washington.
Well, in 1945. Some of them built from the 1700s, even 1600s on the other side of town.
Oh, cool.
Way like this is a colonial. Port Jefferson's a settlement town.
Yeah. So a lot of historical things in this nation's birth has happened right here. So, and even this fireplace, was original to the house. So I always wonder, who were the people that lived here? What were they like? What did the house look like? How did they decorate it? So I always think about that. So I'm thinking in the future, with this awesome kitchen, someone's going to be living in there when we're long gone. So I thought it would be really cool to leave that piece of history.
It's just cool you thought to
Especially
do
with
that.
the internet. All they have to do is Google Skip Bedell, and everything that he's done is right on there, and so they'll know who it was.
Well, again, that was a nice idea that you took the time to think of doing that. I never would have even thought of that. So it's just... Very cool. That one more reason why you're an awesome wife. Yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you.
And after Eric leaves tonight, there's going to be even another reason why you're an awesome wife. Now, Eric, don't you have somewhere to be?
Yep. Sounds like I do.
And with that, we want to thank everybody for tuning in again. Not only this time, but twice a week. Every week, you guys are awesome. We love you.
Yeah,
Thanks
we appreciate you guys coming back. We appreciate you going to the website and taking that Amazon banner and bringing it up to your bookmark bar and using it every time you shop at Amazon. If you haven't done that yet, you need to hit pause right the fuck now and go do that. Go onto the website, take that banner,
like a truck
put it
driver,
on your
right?
Amazon.
Put it on your phone. Put it on my
couldn't
phone.
just say right
I
now. She had to
texted
say
it to
right
him.
the fuck now.
But because if you're falling asleep and considering turning off the episode, this is to wake your ass up and say, hey, go to the website and get that banner, drag it up there.
Once they heard you say it like that, they're like, oh, I guess she's serious. We better really do
I'm
it
serious.
right now.
I'm
Hit pause
serious.
and
Very serious. Don't forget about
Thanks
the
for coming
episode
back
summary.
after hitting pause.
By the way, tell your friends about Hammer Nails Podcast, and we'll be catching up with you guys again on the next one. And don't forget to tune in on Thursday to Fox and Friends, bright and early. You can check out your cable provider, and see what time it airs and DVR it.
7:20 a.m. Eastern Time is when, as of right now, you're scheduled to be there. But
and check out the brand new latest line of tools, some of which are not even available in the stores yet.
And
super cool to Walt.
Eric, you're on Facebook.
I am.
And where else can people find you?
You go to my website, designedbyericg.com, and then it has my Facebook. It's got my Fox stuff that I do from Oregon to Oregon. From
when
the
is
radio
your radio show on?
That's on, actually, that's Around the House with Handyman Bob and Eric G. And there's links to that on my Facebook page.
When do you air that? Like regularly?
That goes on Saturday, live, noon to 2 Pacific Standard Time. So we're on there.
Sweet.
You can check that live. Just go to KXL.com on Saturdays from noon to 2 Pacific.
Nice.
Cool.
Right there.
Okay.
Cool. So.
Very cool. And if you want to see his awesome ink, he's got some really sweet stuff going on his right arm. It's very, very, very nice. It's
cool,
very
awesome
detailed, very colorful. I love it.
Thanks.
Man. Definitely worth a look. And with that in mind, we love you guys.
There you go.
Thank you.
Catch you next time.
Bye.